Hi guys, today I'm here with a live swatch video of the brand new Midnight Mermaid collection from Wet n Wild. If you follow that girl Shay, she's one of my favorite YouTubers and she does these style of videos and I think that they're super fun. I'm going to end up with looking like I have a black eye and glitter all over my face, but I thought it would be a really good way for you to see the collection in action. This collection launched recently and it's super affordable, of course. It looks beautiful. There are 4 metallic liquid eyeshadows, 4 metallic liquid catsuits, and then there's 3 liquid eyeliners and a highlighter. So I'm going to be showing you all of that on my face today. If you live in Canada and you're trying to find this collection, just be sure to check your local retailers that stock Wet n Wild. It can be really hard to find, and be sure to check kind of like the weird areas that limited edition collections can show up. It's probably not going to end up in like the permanent display. I can almost guarantee that. It's also available on Ulta and Wet n Wild as long as it's not sold out, and both of those websites do ship to Canada. Well.ca also, you can buy Wet n Wild there, but I kind of don't feel like they're going to get this collection. But if they do, or if you have seen it, Canada, US, wherever you live, let us know down below because I know it can be kind of hard to track down sometimes. But let's go ahead and get into the swatches. The item that I'm the most excited to try out is the Mermaid Highlighting Bar. This retails for $6.99 on their website, and the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighters are absolutely amazing, and I have swatched this. It feels beautiful. I'm just curious to see what it looks like on my skin tone. It has like a goldy green thing going on with a pink reflect, which sounds crazy, looks beautiful, and I mean, we have a plethora of champagne highlighters to get our hands on, so I like seeing something more unique. So let's go ahead and put this on the skin. Okay. Beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sweet Lord. Okay, so I'm definitely going to need to blend this out on my skin. Maybe I shouldn't have gone in with such a dense brush. So I'm just kind of blending it out a little bit more. On my skin tone, it really doesn't look natural, which is fine. I mean, not every highlighter is going to be natural. If you have a super warm skin tone like me, just go in lightly with a fluffy brush. I do kind of like it more on my nose, surprisingly, than I do on my cheeks. I mean, it's beautiful. Will I wear it again? Yes. Even though I don't have eye makeup on, I am going to do the liquid catsuits next because I feel like the eye makeup is just going to get really messy swatching 4 liquid eyeshadows on my eyes. So these are a metallic matte formula, so different than the original liquid catsuits, which I have a full lip swatch video on. I will link to those down below, and I really do love them. Same packaging, but it's just kind of like updated with the mermaid print. I think it's really adorable. There's 4 shades in the range, and they all retail for $4.99, and they have the same applicator. They definitely feel a little bit more moussey than the original formula. So the original is kind of a little more liquidy to matte, and then these feel like they kind of just stay moussey. I swatched them on my lips and they seemed to set for the most part, but not 100%, so I will test that on my lips now. So I'm going to put Coral Crown on my lips first. This is kind of the lightest one. So this is absolutely stunning. Comes out a little bit darker on the lips than it does in the tube, I feel like, and it doesn't really have much of a scent, but it is beautiful and metallic, but not too metallic. I don't feel like it's accentuating the lines on my lips. It almost looks a little bit highlighted in the middle. The formula is really smooth and there's no glitter in there. So if you've been looking to dabble in metallic lips, whether you're interested in this collection or not, I think that this is really beautiful, and it's kind of a nice approachable metallic, and it's going to be perfect for fall. Moving on to the next shade, it is called Harbor a Crush. This one is a little bit more burgundy, so I'm curious to see how this turns out on the lips because the first one actually ended up being more burgundy than I thought. Okay, this one's coming out a little more purple almost. Okay, again, stunning. I'm kind of really feeling this nothing on my eyes thing. I have no mascara on, and I really like the way my lips kind of pop like this. I don't know, do you ever skip, like, mascara is one of those things I just never skip. Like, I'll skip concealer, I'll skip brows, I'll skip foundation, whatever, but I never ever skip mascara if I'm wearing makeup, and I think it looks kind of cool. But back to the shade, I think that this is gorgeous. Again, a beautiful, approachable, metallic shade. I feel like they don't dry down as matte as the liquid catsuits do. I'm okay with that. That makes them a little bit more comfortable to wear, honestly. And when you have a metallic that gets too dry, it really can look dry and accentuate a lot of the lines on your lips. So to me, I think that this is just so beautiful. It feels so good. I mean, it's August and I don't want to start talking fall too much, but again, this is going to be one of those shades that just it looks really, really high end, and these cost like $5. So I know that not everybody is going to be into like the mermaid thing, but if you are into like a beautiful deep metallic lip, then this is something to keep an eye out for. Moving on to the more wild shades, this is in the shade Siren's Jewel, and it is exactly that. It's like a beautiful deep jewel toned. Oh my god. Kind of reminds me of ColourPop's Dr. M, but with metallic in it. Oh lord. This is amazing. This is one coat, $5. If you want to like play around with color and don't want to spend a ton of money on it, I think that this is such a cool color. Obviously not going to be an everyday color for everybody, but I think it's a lot of fun, especially when drugstore brands come out with more fun things, because you can just have a little bit of fun with it. Like keep it in your collection, mix it with other lipsticks. Maybe one day you're just feeling really bold and want to rock it. I think that this looks amazing. If I just put on like a little bit of mascara and a winged liner, like this makes a statement, and not everybody's going to agree with that statement, but I think it makes a great one. I think that this is so pretty and impactful. Now that my lips are slightly stained green, we will move on to Sea Seduction. This is kind of a blurply blue purple. I think that these are definitely more moussey than the original formula. I know I already said that, but just in removing 3 of them, when you're removing 3 liquid lipsticks in a row, it can feel really, really bad, but these are kind of easier to remove. And then we have Sea's Seduction. The blue and green definitely have less metallic than the first 2 that I tried on. Still slightly metallic, but not as much as the first. Again, a nice full pigmentation. I could maybe put on a second layer with this one, but I think it looks good just like this. And again, a super bold, fun color that is incredibly well done, not patchy, and doesn't have that weirdness that blues and purples can get sometimes, because if you're gonna wear a blue or a purple, you want it to be good quality and full pigmentation so that you can fully rock it. So I think that this is a really good formula as well. So I have brought you in now. We are going to be putting the metallic eyeshadows, one on each eye, just kind of, it's not going to look good, okay? Like I'm just putting it on my eye to show you what it looks like. I have tried these on the back of my hand, let them dry down, and they do dry down quite nicely. Even when I rub my finger over them, not super hard, they seem to stay in place. I got like a little bit of glitter on my fingers. So they do seem like they're going to be good. I mean, this is kind of only my second time trying this collection, so I can't really speak to the longevity of all of it. Let's go ahead and put these on my eyeballs. The first one I'm going to start with is the gray here, and this one is in the shade Mysterious Night. I honestly don't even work with cream shadows that much. Especially things like this, but I mean, if you don't either, this will give you a good indication of how it goes when you're a beginner. So as you can see, it's quite full of pigment. I built it up about 2 times here, trying not to blink too much so that I don't get too much transfer. Overall, I think that this looks really, really good. I'm gonna let it dry while I move on to this eye with another shade, just to see if when I kind of touch it, it'll transfer off onto my finger. It doesn't have a super oily formula. I feel like it's got a good deep base in there. Sorry, I'm not looking at you, but I'm just trying to let it dry. I feel like it has a good deep base. It's not just like oily with glitter sitting in there, which is nice. Then on this eye, I'm going to be using the shade Laura's Necklace, which is a pretty beautiful green. You know who Laura is, let me know. I feel like this one has a stronger base in it than the first one. The first one still does have like a pretty strong smoky gray base, but I just feel like the green is more pigmented throughout in this one. And I'm not trying to do anything like super intricate or detailed, just trying to show you how they look on my eyes, but I want to just touch this. Yeah, okay, there's like barely any glitter coming off on my eyes. So obviously if you go in and like rub, I don't think it's going to hold up, but it also doesn't feel like the glitter is just going to go everywhere, and I have no glitter fallout on my under eyes, so I think that they seem quite like they're going to be pretty good. On to the shade Aquatic Prism. This looks beautiful. It's like a tealy purple duochrome. Oh my god. Wow. Guys, this is insane. So this one is like less glittery and more of like a metallic. This is beautiful. And what I'm doing with it on my eyes is not. This one is definitely super full of pigment. I think you could wear it on its own, but with any of these, you may need to just be careful when you're blending eyeshadows around them. I can kind of see that potentially becoming an issue if you're trying to like make a few shadows work, but they don't take very long to dry down either. I would definitely leave them for like as long as you possibly can before blending something out over it. Like I just touched it after like less than 2 minutes and it is coming off just slightly on my fingers. And then lastly we have Moonlight Majesty, which again is kind of a similar, looks to be a similar formula to the one I just put on my other eye. This one is more of like a purpley green duochrome. Ooh, yeah, okay, so this is a similar formula. So the first two I tried were more glittery, and then these two are more like highly metallic, some glitter, but more pigment. Again, I think that this one is really beautiful. Took a little bit more to build up. Purples can be tricky, but I do still think there's tons of pigmentation in there. Wasn't patchy. I put on the first layer, let it dry for like 30 seconds, and then put on the second layer, and now I'm kind of letting it dry. Be careful if you do have more hooded eyelids or just any eye shape in general. Try not to blink too much and try not to get it above your crease if you do plan on having a look like that, because it will transfer when you blink. Back to the lipstick just for a second. It has been kind of on my lips now for about 10 minutes. At least. Not completely transfer proof, which I don't mind. Again, it makes it a little bit more comfortable, but just in case, it is something to keep in mind, especially if you're going to be kissing with a dark blue lip. Moving on to the eyeliners, I have the shade Trident's Shimmer on. It's kind of like a deep smoky gray with a little bit of metallic and glitter running through it. This format of eyeliner is just not my favorite in general. I definitely like more of a pen style, but if you are looking for colored or metallic eyeliners, generally the formula is going to be a little bit better in something like this. I think that the formula is nice. It's a little bit thick, so I would really like they had like a little ball in here, you know, to kind of shake it up. I really quite like the green. It's in the shade C Symmetry, and what I like about these is they do seem to be quite full pigment. So sometimes with colored eyeliners you have to go over it a bunch to build the pigment, and for me, I don't know about you, but doing my winged eyeliner once is good enough, and then if I have to go in and build it up, that's when things really start to go wrong. So I had to dip back in twice. I did kind of the line over my eye and then dip back in to do the wing. So I do like that it is quite full of pigment, and sometimes when shadows, or sorry, liners have too much glitter or metallic in there, they almost look too shiny and it doesn't really look even on your eyes, and I don't have that problem with this. I know I look incredibly uneven, but I wanted to do a bigger wing on this just so you could see the color a little bit better. It's in the shade Sea Dreams, and it is a really deep blue, but I don't want it to translate black. Like it definitely looks blue in person. This one is probably my least favorite. It has the thickest formulas. This one to me, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of navy blue eyeliners out there, not a ton of like beautiful greens like this, I think. So this one for me is a bit of a miss. It's not that it's bad, just kind of like personal preference. I don't know, I think it's okay. Overall, I think that this collection is fabulous. I think they've done a great job, especially considering how affordable it is. I love that we now have the ability to try fun, exciting, beautiful things, and you don't need to spend a premium price for it, but you're still getting a really good product. Standouts for me in this collection that I think are going to be really beautiful on everybody, must-haves for fall, are these two liquid lipsticks. The first two that I tried on in the shade Coral Crown and Harbor a Crush. I think that these are just absolutely stunning. They're totally wearable, but a little bit of interest because they have the metallic shades in there. Depending on your skin tone and your personal preference for highlighters, I think that this is actually a really great highlighter as well. At first, I wasn't totally sure, but now that I'm kind of seeing it, it's kind of melded into my skin a little bit more. It feels more wearable and less green than it did when I initially put it on my skin. So I think that this is super fun. It would make a really great inner corner highlight and eyeshadow as well. I think that the metallic eyeshadows are really good too. I'm going to need some more time to play around with these to look at the longevity, but overall, just based on pigmentation and the way they kind of wore on my hands and eyes over the past few hours, I think that they are really beautiful, unique shades. I have nothing like them in my collection. And then lastly, for the eyeliners, These aren't my favorite. It's kind of a personal preference thing. I just don't really love this application, but I do see myself actually using this green because I love the way that a green winged liner looks, and I've had a lot of trouble finding that, and it's definitely in this. I just don't think that the formula is my favorite ever, nor is the application, but I do think that they're good. I mean, they are exactly what they claim to be. They're metallic eyeliners. It's just kind of a personal preference thing, and they do cost $3.99. So if you were in the market for a liquid eyeliner that wasn't black, this could be a good route to go. Let me know if you will be picking up anything from this collection and what your favorite item was that I tried on, and let me know if you liked this style of video. I know it was a little bit messy, just kind of like playing around. I really wanted to truly show you how these products perform on the face and how the color translates, because sometimes the swatch doesn't always do that. So if you found this helpful, be sure to let me know, and if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!